feel like a boomer reminiscing about the good old days of Galaxy of Heroes. Okay. Okay. Nihilus is ready. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, Judds, and all of you fugitives out there in this lovely galaxy that we're in, to today's video where we are going over the first new character of 2025 in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's a doozy and a fun one, and that is going to be the brand new Omega parentheses Fugitive. Oh my. All right, let's just summarize this. The TLDW, I don't like Arnold. Whatever the case might be, time is of the essence. Turn 1, Nihilus Instakill. The Jedi Master Kenobi of the marquee units out there. Do I need to really explain anything more here? Just a quick snippet of turn 1, Omega reducing cooldowns, Nihilus Instakill. Yeah. What more do you need to know? Hit that like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, it's great. No, get back in here. We have a few more things to talk about. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this character, and we're going to talk about why. After we talk about our sponsor. What are you guys doing? You don't want to be late for the latest party at our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, where Alice in Wonderland has made it to the game. To celebrate the occasion, they are literally just giving out for free a legendary champion, Alice the Wanderer. All you have to do is log into Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days between January 8th through March 26th. All of this completely free. But wait, that's not all. We also have the Mad Hatter coming to Raid Shadow Legends, a limited time fusion event to get yourselves the legendary Mad Hatter. And we also have the addition of Cheshire the Cat, the Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts. And if you're feeling brave enough, you can go toe-to-toe with her in the limited time events dungeon. I got you covered. If you're new to Raid, now is the best time to play. If you use my QR code or my link down below, you'll be getting for free Tyrell, a bunch of goodies, and then later on you'll be getting Rector Draft. So you don't want to be late, my friends. Come join me over here in Raid Shadow Legends. Check out my second channel where I've been playing a ton of Raid for the past 6 months and see all the fun that we're having in this wonderland of Raid Shadow Legends. All right, let's reel it in here. As you can probably tell from the intro, I think we're starting off 2025 on a strong note already. We have a lot to talk about in terms of the future of this team. We have more information into what this team is going to lead to, or I should say lack of leading to, but I don't know if we should worry too much about that. But first things first, as we do with these videos, quick modding overview. If you're going to be utilizing Omega, and I do think there should be some low gearish viability with this character, the most important thing is going to be speed. Trying to get as much speed as possible, and we have a lovely graphic provided by the one and only Pimpo, who gives us a lot of our great oversights on how we should be maximizing the utilization of these characters. And Omega, she's going to be getting a nice boost of speed on her unique ability, but we're going to want to take it to the next level by trying to eke out as much as possible and maybe sprinkling some tenacity in there as well to make sure she's not getting any debuffs, because why? What is the crown jewel ability of this character? It's going to be Big Sister, and honestly, all the other abilities are kind of irrelevant to what we're doing here today. But before we go too far along, what this character is going to do and the journey we're going to be embarking on with her, the question is, what is this team actually leading into? Because as we know, we are leading into a brand new era for the new Bad Batch. A Bad Batch Season 3 team that we speculated for a long time. We're supposed to get Batcher, a new Hunter, a new Wrecker, and of course, finally, Crosshair is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So that's what we're focusing on for the next few months. But we have some important information in regards to, should you be pursuing this team? Well, let's take a little look at what we have here. So as we were told the other day, with the announcement of the Bad Batch Season 3, there was going to be no new legendary unit tied to these characters. So there's no need to build up these characters and hope that there's a new, let's say, a Saj Ventress, if you want to go with that. But we also just learned that apparently the event that the Bad Batch were supposed to be used for, this new event, it got canned. As you can see here from Meathead, typically our intention is to have an event or journey guide character that directly uses the team you are chasing inside an era. However, due to the bandwidth issues, we were unable to complete the event in time for this era and had to cut it. With that being said, the new Bad Batch squad is still solid, and we cannot wait to share with you the rest of the characters who make up the new Bad Batch team. So was it a new raid, a new assault battle like the Peridia Patrol or Duel to Faith? We're not really going to know, but one thing I do know, people, is that we're starting off on a strong note indeed for this new Bad Batch crew. And why don't we just basically focus our attention on what we can do with her right now? And it's basically a two-pronged thing, and we're only getting started. Let's first just say everything else on her kit at this point, because we don't have the full Bad Batch team, I would say is more or less irrelevant. I'm just going to cut to the chase. She's got 3 Zetas on her kit right now. Basically, the only Zeta you're going to want to have is Big Sister, because why? As you can see on this last tier, for each 20% health recovery received while that ally has 100% health, they reduce their cooldowns by 1, and this turns her into the plug-and-play cooldown manipulation Master Kenobi Dream Team. Even better than Master Kenobi, because Master Kenobi can only reduce cooldowns on Galactic Republic allies. Omega, literally any character of your choosing in this beautiful game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And I guess just really quick, the other thing that's really cool about her being under stealth allows her to kind of stay out of the action and continue supporting the team. Very Grief Karga-esque, that I suppose also very important for the Bad Batch. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the lead and all that later on. And of course, the other thing that's important to note is that her unique ability gives her plus 50 speed on her base speed of 137, which is normally slow, but technically she's 187 base speed, which is very, very usable. But the rest of this unique ability, we have to wait until we finally get the rest of the Bad Batch crew to fully appreciate it. But I want to just really now spend most of our time in this video today talking about how I believe this is going to be a fun plug-and-play tool to have at your disposal, and that's with the Big Sister right here. It's more or less a Master Kenobi for any type of team out there. As we said, I think the prime poster child that's going to love this is going to be Darth Nihilus. Yes, we have Darth Tray Omicron that can reduce Nihilus's cooldowns right away, but now you can do this turn 1 with Omega, reduce Nihilus's cooldowns, and then you can quickly keep getting him to reduce his cooldowns throughout the battle, whether it's through Traya, his own way with the cooldown increase, or Omega can keep doing this. This is the cooldown of 3 on Omega. This is not 5 or 6, which is a long time. It's 3. You're going to be pumping this out a ton, and I'm going to give you the range right now. Let's read this real quick together on the range of cooldowns that you can manipulate here. First things first, you get to dispel all debuffs on all Bad Batch allies, which again, we will talk about the Bad Batch, although that's kind of the back burner thing for me. Target ally recovers 100% protection, regardless of what relic level you are, or non-relic, I should say, and an additional 15% protection per Omega's relic Ampar level. This is reduced by 5% per debuff dispelled, so you don't really want to cleanse. And I guess the good thing is if you don't have Bad Batch allies, you don't have to worry about that because you're not cleansing any Bad Batch allies on the team. Then for each 1% protection recovered, received while the ally has 100% protection, they recover 100% health. So if you had 100% protection already and you got the 100% protection recovery, that's going to be 100% health recovered. But for each 20% health recovery received while that ally has 100% health, they reduce their cooldowns by 1. So in a perfect world, which is not very difficult to do because she will be a fast character, let's roll down the math that we did today on our stream. Basically, at the very minimum, assuming a character that Omega targets, which could also target herself, keep reducing her own cooldowns if you wanted to, but if she targets an ally with full health, full protection, at the very minimum, if you're running, like, let's say, a Gear 9 3-star, you're going to be able to have a maximum potential of reducing the allied cooldowns by 5, which is still very beneficial. Being able to, for example, reset Darth Malgus's big abilities, or Lord Vader's, Darth Malak's, I mean, Dash Rendar. There are tons and tons of characters that would love to even get that minimum cooldown manipulation. But as you increase her relics, things get a lot more interesting. And as you can see, I went to town because we had such a good time. I figured let's start off the year at the bang. We'll show you what do you get if you go to Relic 9, which, let me be clear, pretty much all of the gameplay you're seeing today is not Relic 9. That was stuff we did at the very end. Let me show you really quick what Relic 5 has to offer. So you get that 100% health protection right away. But if you get the Relic 5, 15 times 5, that's going to give you an additional 75, right? Because of this ability right here. So let's add that to the 100. You get 175. Now you divide that by 20. You'll be able to then, at that point, this is the sweet spot. Reduce an ally's cooldown by 8. It rounds down in this game. Why is that important? Two things why this is important. Thing number one, as I've been saying time and time again today, incredibly important for Darth Nihilus because he has an 8-turn cooldown. That means basically turn 1 insta-kill right away and even more throughout the battle. And secondly, the other thing that's kind of important, guess what? There's something also pretty similar to Nihilus. And who is that character? That is going to be, my friends, Commander Ahsoka Tano, where her Force Leap has a cooldown of 8. So no longer do you really need to keep Commander Tano with the Master Kenobi team to get the full benefit. You can use Commander Tano and Omega basically in any team. Padme Amidala, sure. Dasher and Darth, sure. Raid Shadow Legends, sure. Throw them in whatever lineup. And I think this is the biggest thing. Before, there really wasn't a huge benefit in using Commander Tano until you get Master Kenobi. If you have Commander Tano before Kenobi and you have Omega, that's the time to actually really utilize it. So it really allows you to really fully flesh out these characters in situations where they wouldn't be able to be used otherwise. So Relic 5 is that sweet spot. And of course, if you want to go above and beyond, like myself, if you take that Relic 9 times 15, then add that plus 100, this now gives you the possibility of reducing cooldowns by 11 at the very most. And this is kind of helpful. Let's say a character that you're targeting has lost some protection or lost some health. This is nice to kind of overcome that deficit and still try to get to that sweet spot of 8, for example, for Nihilus and Commander Tano. But although we're focusing so much on Nihilus and Commander Tano because that's the fun stuff, almost any character in this game, name your choosing, would love this. Like, it's pretty hilarious, but it works on Lord Vader. Lord Vader's lifter is going to be a youngling. Being able to constantly give Lord Vader a cooldown reduction on his unshackled emotions, that's going to allow him to ramp up his mastery even faster. I mean, what else do you guys want? It was crazy fun with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. If you throw in Thrawn, Omega, Hux, and Officer, constantly passing turns of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren resetting his cooldowns, big deals. That's, again, another crazy way of utilizing it. Just go through your roster. Just go through all the characters and ask yourself, man, wouldn't it be nice if I can just use this ability turn 1 or constantly use this back to back to back? Well, Omega is now that option to give you that golden ticket to do what you want. And you know what I love about this the most? It brings me back to, I think, the golden era of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, where plug and play theory crafting was at its peak, in my opinion. And that was around the 2017 2016 period where people would mix and match characters to create these really unique squads. I'm talking like Commander Luke with Captain Rex and Wampa, General Kenobi, Nihilus, Baze and Tarut. Really wild stuff, and we kind of see that to an extent now with Omega. Now, of course, as we're going to talk about, her home is likely going to be with the new Bad Batch crew, as CG's insinuating at this point. But in the meantime, or maybe it could be like an Ezra Bridger Exile thing where some people just don't want to use Ezra with Ahsoka. They want to use Ezra in like a Rey and other lineups. You have the power to really have this theory crafting at your fingertips. And I think for the moment, I think the coolest lineup that you can use Omega in right now is the Darth Trail lineup in Grand Arena with the Omicron, the Savage Omicron, have the Nihilus on there, and then have Omega in there. That sounds like such a fun lineup. And you know, oh man, I can go on and on and on. We have, what, 200 plus characters, whatever it is in this game. There are so many fun combos. I want to highlight one other combo that was really fun. I think you should keep on your radar. As you guys know, we have some really funky Padme Amidologies with the OG Padme combining with OG Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon does control the situation, gives you tons of protection up on your support characters, which then gets turned into courage. Well, imagine this. You're able to control the situation early, get all the protection benefits, then have Omega reduce the cooldowns on Gideon so he can do it again. Padme is going to be nuking fools left and right. So I know we're focusing on Nihilus and Commander Tano, but that's more or less getting a ton of insta-kills on a Padme lineup. But again, I'm going to hold back because I'm sure we're going to find tons and tons of other things that Omega is going to be used for. Last thing I'm going to mention, because I can go on and on about this, but I'm so excited about what her kit's going to offer. One thing I want to bring out here, in games that are turn-based like this, what's generally the most important thing is more turns equals more better. So more speed, more turn meter, and we got plenty of characters that manipulate speed, manipulate turn meter. But really the third other thing that's really important for turn-based games, being able to use your biggest abilities as often as possible. Yeah, we have ability manipulation to an extent. You know, like Master Kenobi gave us a little bit of it in very concise situation. Leia stops manipulation. And of course, you got things like Nihilus or Ser Junda, you know, things like that. But having a character that can now reset cooldowns in any situation, that is opening up a new avenue, I think, that we're not really seeing in this game. She's the only character that could really do this in the entire game, period. Making her a plug-and-play cooldown wizard. And I guess if you do play Raid Shadow Legends, this is very reminiscent of Prince Kymar in that game, where he can reset cooldowns. I never thought we'd get that type of character in here. Well, now you do. But I guess we should talk a little bit about the Bad Batch. Obviously, we're getting a new Bad Batch crew. They are not here yet. We'll be seeing the next one in about 2 weeks, which is likely Batcher. It's going to be about a month and a half, 2 months, whatever it is, to fully flesh out the entire new Bad Batch team. But in the moment, I think she works fine as a 5th member to the current Bad Batch team with Hunter. You know, she provides a lot of buffs. She's able to put people in their stealth, and she's got cooldown manipulation, which again, we can open up that Pandora's box. It's great to constantly get Echo to reduce cooldowns over and over and over again, or constantly giving Tech abilities to use as AoE over again. So a very powerful ability that she has within her kit. There are some drawbacks, as we're going to talk about at the very end here, or although she plugs in well with the current Bad Batch crew, I think maybe elevates them a little bit. I think her lead, we're starting to able to see a little bit of her lead, not fully, because we don't have the new Bad Batch members that truly appreciate the new captivity and rescue mechanics. But on the Omega lead, the biggest thing that I'm noticing is it brings in that Darth Maul level critical avoidance baked into the stealth. And the stealth is really good. It's an undispellable stealth. And while you're under stealth, you can't be critically hit. And basically, it allows Wrecker to just be open and just taunt, even though he's not having to taunt physically. Very powerful lead that I'm sensing already. But I still think we need to wait until we can fully appreciate the whole capture, the whole rescue mechanic that we have on this unique ability with Omega. We can't really use it now. I mean, it activates on her, but you really need it on the rest of the Bad Batch to really get the full benefits. But for right now, I do want to say it's a lot of fun. What her lead is offering, I think Hunter may be a little bit better still right now, but eventually when we get the new lineup, I'm thinking we're going to be seeing some good stuff. And who knows, people are speculating Crosshair getting an insta-kill potentially. I could see that happening. Whew. And that's going to be a little bit wild. Now, I want to go summarize the things that I actually do not like about this character. Right now, if you're not using her in any Bad Batch capacity, everything about her kit besides that special is kind of more or less useless. Like her basic Zeta is mostly important for Wrecker to keep giving Wrecker critical avoidance up, because he's never going to be under stealth most of the time. So kind of a passable Zeta. The lead, you can pretty much pass on that until you get the full Bad Batch crew. But really my complaint is with Omega, one, we don't know how she's going to operate on defense, and this might be a good thing. If she was able to, for example, know to always target Nihilus or Commander Tano, that would be a headache. So we have to wait and see how she's on defense. It could be an idiot on defense like Gideon is. Gideon doesn't do control the situation first, and that's obviously an ability you'd love to use first in the right hands. My biggest complaint is the lack of good tags. All she has is light side support leader Bad Batch. One could easily argue she's a support, she's a mercenary, an unaligned force user. If she had those tags, that would literally be the cherry on top. Or a clone trooper. Oh my gosh. She said she's called an odd little clone, but she's not a clone, even though her previous version, Omega, the one that looks like Draco Malfoy, has the clone tag. Again, this is the thing that starts irritating me about Capital Games. They throw out lore and the reason of game balance and just not let us have fun to the fullest extent of these characters. If we had the clone trooper, unaligned force user tag, scoundrel tag, mercenary tag, this would be, I think, the perfect marquee character, literally, in terms of plug-and-play viability that exists out there. If I could plug her in a Balin lineup or a Ser Junda lineup or a Dash Rendar lineup and get like the full entire benefits, that would be nuts. But unfortunately, they're holding her hands a little bit. But even though we have the lack of tags, she still works in a variety of lineups out there just by being able to be the plug-and-play cooldown reduction wizard that we have. You know, I can't be too mad about it, but man, that close to seriously having one of the best plug-and-play characters I think we've seen in a long, long time in Galaxies. Yes, don't get me wrong, I love Zori, but Zori's kind of a one-trick pony for resistance stuff. Captain Rex, I love him. Yeah, he's got some flexibility, but a character like this, that is basically the queen of cooldown manipulation minus Leia, of course. She shuts that down. That is a massive tool to have at your disposal. Let me know what you guys think down below. I am excited to see what you guys are going to unlock with her over the upcoming year. As we start goofing around with her, I think we're only scratching the surface on what we can accomplish. And of course, we will see where the Bad Batch is going to lead us. Are they indeed going to be a good team? Should you be pursuing this team despite no legend event or no new event? Well, time will tell. So stick around, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.